Okay. So we discussed about the letter writing, right? And definitely this is not an ideal letter, okay, that is here in front of us. We have to change it and we have to write a proper letter. I'll be trying to write the whole letter over here, but I guess it won't be possible because we have like 30 minutes or maybe 35 minutes remaining before the meeting ends. So whatever the time we have, let's just try to write the letter and let's just try to have the proper orientation of letter writing. Last time we actually discussed what are the basic things, but we, there was nothing like practical. Okay, I discussed everything that how can a good letter be written, okay, and what things should be there. But I was not, discussing about like the details, okay, that how this is the sentence and that we can write or something like that. That's I'm just going to be discussing over here. So I sent you, but what we actually do is in our regular course, we have our own material that we send our students and then we ask them to write the letter according to that. And we do discuss the basic things with them first. And after that, we actually ask them to write their letters because we have this support system 24/7. We are available to help our students whenever they need. They can reach out to us. Okay. And now, once they are done with their letters, they are going to send us. And after that, we are having classes, okay, regularly like this. And we are discussing their letters in detail. Okay. Yeah. So this is just a little background of what's going to happen in our session, right? If any one of you wants to join, you are more than welcome. Okay, so this letter, this is one of the letter that Dr. Sarah, I sent you the PDF, okay? In that, this is the first letter of that PDF, right? So you tried, this is the first thing, okay, that you have tried, and this is the most important thing. Now, it's completely fine if you're making mistakes. See, we have, as I mentioned, we have 10 letters in the course. Okay, right? We have to write 10 to 14 letters depending upon the course you have selected, right? In this particular in this particular course that I'm talking about, we have 10 letters, right? If you are not able to write your letters when you're done with the 10 letters, okay, then there is a problem, okay? But before that, there is no problem. I'll be available. I'll be there to support you and I'll be telling you all your mistakes and I'll be correcting them at the same time by highlighting your, the things that can be improved, right? Okay, so I told you that, in this letter, if you see the case notes, I mean, you have the case notes, right? Others don't have, those who are not in the session, right? Okay, so you have the case notes. If you see the task, it is written over there in the task that you have to write a referral letter to Dr. Smith. Dr. Smith is an endocrinologist, right? He works at City Hospital, okay? And the name of the patient is Mrs. Sharma. Why you are writing the letter? Because of the sugar level, right? This is the basic background, right? This is what they are asking you to write, right? Definitely, I'll be discussing the case notes with you as well. Okay. Now, what you need to write in the letter, why are you writing the letter? You are writing because of the sugar levels, right? Maybe she's diabetic, right? We don't know. When we'll read the case notes, as I mentioned in the class, that we have 45 minutes in total. Out of 45, we have 5 minutes for reading the case notes. And after that, we have 40 minutes to actually write the letter. Okay, that's one thing. Now, you have read the case notes, and according to that, if you're smart enough, within those 5 minutes, you'll be able to get done with your, organization point of view. That what this is the selection of the relevant information. Okay, exclusion of the irrelevant stuff. Okay, your organization, as I mentioned, you'll be able to understand whether this is a simple referral, urgent referral, or discharge, update, or transfer. We have discussed this in detail in the last class, right? After this, now you have 40 minutes to write. Because you have mentioned everything, like you have made a sketch in your brain, okay? Remember, in those 5 minutes, you are not allowed to hold a pencil. If you're holding a pencil, they can disqualify you, Okay, they can say that some of the people, if you're in the groups, people are telling you that, oh my God, my results is not available. They have sent me the email that, we are checking the quality and stuff, and after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they are not even giving the results. They're not sending the results to the people, or even if they're sending the results, they are failing people. Why? Because they are not focusing on the instruction. If they are instructing you to do something, do it. Okay, uh, do not be smart that, okay, they have just, the time is up, but now because the examiner is taking the, the interlocutor is is taking the exam or the paper from the first person in the line, so I'm just sitting in between, so let's just read something or write something. No, if you do that, you're not going to get your results. Okay, if someone is getting results after doing this, he's lucky, but do not think that you are going to be lucky after all. Okay, that's it's like really rare. Okay, so don't be some of those who are doing this stuff. Okay, if they're telling you stop writing, stop it. Okay, if they're telling you do not hold the pencil, don't hold it. Rather than that, you see, if you'll just hold the pencil for 5 minutes, whole exam is gone. Now there is no point of writing or doing something because they have seen it. They might not tell you that they have seen it. They are very smart, but you will not get the results. Okay. So please avoid that. Okay. Now this is happening a lot. That is the reason I'm telling you. Okay. Now if we see the case notes, it is written that we have to write a referral letter to a specialist who is an endocrinologist. Name is Dr. Lisa. Okay. Dr. Lisa Smith, right? And what we need out of that, see, you are a GP, you're sending the patient to that doctor. It means you need further assessment, right? And manage because you're unable to manage the patient. If you see the visits, there are many visits over there. And in the all visits, they are telling me that the blood sugar levels are not controlled, right? So now let's just talk about the purpose, the most important thing. But before that, let's see whether you have written things correctly or not. But if you see you have written Dr. Lisa Smith, that's fine. Endocrinologist, that is also fine. Say the hospital, you don't expect it. Where is the date? Date is missing. Where is the date? You have to write the date over here. Okay, and this is important. If you'll not write a date, I mean, when are you going to refer the patient? In 2050? No, you have to mention the date that 28th of August, 2024. I'm writing this letter. Oh, I'm just giving you an example, but always remember you have to write the date of the referral, which is given inside the case. If you see in this particular case notes, the last visit was on 10th of February 2019. So you have to write that date over here. That this is the date, okay, on which I am sending the patient. Now, okay, after the date, you have to write the name of the doctor. There is, see, I told you in that first class of the basic information that you have to write the name of the doctor if you know it, right? So you know the name. It's in the, what is the name? Dr. Lisa Smith. So what are you going to write over here? You're going to write the name. Doctor. Yeah. Doctor. The second, we discussed it, right? Now I'm just doing this for the practical purpose so that you can definitely understand. Okay, now after dear Dr. Smith, you have to write the name of the patient as well. This is something that you cannot miss. If you'll miss this, you're failed. Okay, and I am not bothering. Why? Because I have to make sure that you're not making mistakes. Okay, I'm not discouraging. Remember, I will never discourage, okay, to anyone over there, but I will guide you. Okay, and if I'll say something, which is, a little harsh, you will remember that. And then at the end, after passing, you're definitely going to pray a lot of things. I mean, you're going to give me a lot of prayer, right? So that is what I need. Okay, so we have to write the name of the patient also. What is the name of the patient? The name of the patient is Mrs. Sharma, right? Mrs. Priya Sharma. So you will write like this. Mrs. Priya Sharma. What are we going to do? See, in the case note, if you see, they have given you both the date of birth or the age. because she is an she's like 60 years old, right? So you can write the age. Okay, so this thing should have been written actually over here or inside the like, inside the purpose. Okay, it's not that I am saying that not write it on stuff. It's better not to write. You can just write like age this way. There are many ways to write this, and then you can see years. Simple. So now people will tell you, right, that there should be a hyphen over here, and this way and that way. Everything is fine. If this way or that way, there's no problem. Don't make it complicated, right? Things should be simple, okay? Because exam is simple. If you want to make it complicated because someone else is telling you, make it. The personal issue with them. Okay, people are, people are making these fiascos for the students so that they can, sell their courses. Right. I'm sorry if I'm sounding like that, but it is. What it is. They just don't know how to do it, so that is the reason they are making things complicated for the students. And students are also liking it. Oh my God, it's really difficult. Wow, this person is really good. Yes. Okay, so I'm writing to refer a patient. What patient? See, I told you, you have to write the name. I'm writing to refer. The name should be over here. Name or not. Now you know the name, Mrs. Sharma. Okay, and you don't need to write the age over here. Who is a known diabetic since 1999 with family history? Now, see, remember what I told you in the paragraph where we have to write the purpose. There should be two things. I hope you remember. Two things should be there, the reason and the demands. Have you written anything? No. You are telling me she's diabetic since 99. Okay, that this is past medical history. This is not the reason you're referring the patient right now. Okay, if she is a known diabetic patient since 1999, why am I referring her in 2019 to endocrinology? I already know she's a 60-year-old lady. Does that make sense? No, this is past medical history. What is the current reason? That is your purpose. I told you that. Okay, so the reason here is uncontrolled sugar levels, uncontrolled diabetes. Mention, you have to mention that way that I am writing Mrs. Sharma, okay, who has I'm writing to refer Mrs. Sharma who has uncontrolled blood sugar levels. This is the reason. Then what are your demands? Your further assessment and management in this regard would be highly appreciated because it is written in the case note. If you see in the last visit, 10 to 2019, they have mentioned refer to refer to specialist at diabetes unit for further management of sugar levels. So they have given you your demand. They have given you the reason as well. Unfortunately, you are not selected anything. And that's fine. That's the reason I'm here, right? To tell you that how to improve, right? Okay, no problem. So what should have been added over here? We should have mentioned about what? About the have actually sent me in the slide form, so now it's actually difficult to actually, do it. But I'm trying. If it is not easy for you, Dr. Sarah, to send me in a PDF form or on Word form, you can send me a text message over there in the WhatsApp. I'll make it in a PDF or Word form for my for myself. Okay, that's no problem. Okay, so I hope you have got my point. I'm writing to refer. Okay, and the name like as I mentioned. So now just listen to me because I might not be able to write everything, but I hope you're getting my point. Okay, so this is something which is the past medical history. Then you're writing about now. If I'm you, I would ignore it. Written like this. Okay, I would have written over the reason and the demand. I hope you're getting my point. Okay, now after this, so the purpose is not over here even. Okay, there is no purpose in this whole. The purpose, so we should add question mark in front of it because we cannot see in purple, right? And that's fine. Now, after this, what next? We're done with the purpose. Now we have to talk about the widgets. I told you how to write widgets. So now there are different thinking. You know, people think differently over here. That some of them might tell you that write the history after the purpose. I have no problem with that. You can definitely write it. But for me, if I'm an examiner, and if you are even an examiner, what would you like to see first? Would you like to see that someone has, his father is diabetic and his father, his mother was hypertensive and this and that? Or would you like to see the details of the patient first? What's happening with the patient at the moment? See, for me, it would be better if I would see the patient first. Okay, then I don't have even information, but you're telling me that his family history is positive for maybe 50 years of cancer. I have no problem with that. You can definitely write it for free. But if you think that way, it's better to mention at the end just before the conclusion. Now that is the organization. And if you go over there on the official OET website, they have given you a jumbo kind of, the criteria stuff where they have told you that this is how you can write a good letter. That is appropriate way of writing. Okay, so if you want your letters, and if you want your score in writing like about 380 or 390, okay, I can show you examples of my students. They have got 400 out in writing. Okay, I'm just telling you. Okay, I'm like just not bragging, just telling you. Okay, so okay, so the purpose is done. Now we have to write what? We have to write the widget. So if you see the widget, so definitely you can write the medical history, past medical history as well, and which you have written quite, I would say, it's quite fine that she has, if like this is the past medical history, okay, and I have no problem with it. That she's diabetic since 1999. Her family is of type 2 diabetes as well. That's fine. She is allergic to penicillin. Her prescribed drugs are metformin and okay, no problem. You can write after the purpose, and I have no problem with that. But this is not the best way of writing. Okay, this is what I was saying. Now let's just come to the visits. Now visits are really important, and we have discussed the visits as well. How to arrange a visit. Now I'm not gonna go into that details because we already are done with that visit stuff, right? So we are done with the visit. Please mute yourself, everyone. Okay. Now we have to write the visits. How to write visits? We have discussed it. Like we have to write every visit in an organized way, right? And I told you the organization. I'm not going to go into that detail right? Because we have discussed it. Okay. Now, but I'll definitely explain. So because you have taken the class, you will understand that what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay. So now we are going to talk about the visit. So now, see, this is the first visit, right? So on this day, like on 29th of December in 2018, she presented to you for the first time. Okay. Okay. This was the weather, right? Now, the problem here is that you are writing that she visited the health center, which is fine. Not on this date. In this particular date, she has presented in your clinic. And she is telling you, okay, that I went to the health center and they did not listen to my concern very well. It is not a date in which she actually visited a center. It is the date in which she visited you, and she is telling you that when I went to the health center, they didn't listen me properly, right? Okay, so here you have to understand that, because if you write a wrong information in the letters, they are not gonna forgive you for that. Okay, so on her visit to the health center on this date, no. On her visit to your clinic or your setting, okay, or because you are GP, so maybe GP practice, okay, or general practice. Okay, so this is not On this date, now not her, you have to write Mrs. Sharma's glucose levels were not well enough controlled. If you see the case notes, it is written the same line, and I have no problem if you write the same line. And even OET examiner doesn't have problem if you write the same information. Okay. As I've mentioned, some people will tell you, oh my God, if you write the exact same things, they're going to fail you. But no, they are not going to fail you. Why? This is not an IELTS exam where you have to learn a lot of vocabulary. If this was like that, then why would have they given you the case notes to go through that? They would have just told you, write a letter to someone with this problem, okay? That's it. And you might have selected your own information and words and stuff and vocabulary, and you were writing a letter blindly. No, it's not like that. Okay? They have given you the information. You have to select the information and you have to write your letter. That's simple. Really, really simple. Okay. So this is the problem of so many people. I don't know why. They like to make things complicated when then they can make simple. Okay, but they won't because they have to, get a lot of money. Okay, no question. Okay. On this stage, Mrs. Sharma's glucose levels were not well enough controlled, which is fine. Or to make it more better, what you can write on this stage, Mrs. Sharma presented with the complaints, okay, of uncontrolled blood sugar level. If you want to be more sophisticated, I would say, then you can write the sentence, but otherwise, the way you are writing that way. Okay. Her blood pressure was 155 by 100 and BMI was 24. See, I have no problem if you write a lot of, add a lot of commas over here. But the problem is that people are lacking here, that they are unable to understand that there should be a proper linking words. Okay, linking words should be there. The and word, as long as, okay, as well as, along with that. These are the linking words that anybody can do. Okay, so you can write on this statement, Sharma's blood sugar levels were not well enough. Okay, and her BP was 155 by 100, along with the BMI of 24. Done. Okay, or what is the what is the better way? Listen, on this state, Mrs. Sharma's blood sugar levels were not well enough controlled. Okay, or she attended the health center, but she felt that they were not taking her concerns seriously. You can just simply mention that, no problem. As her blood sugar levels were 6 to 18, and that was also mentioned in the case. Her examination was unremarkable, except blood pressure of 155 by 100 and BMI of 24. Done. Okay. What a good way of writing. Then, therefore, some relevant investigations were ordered or requested. I told you, whenever you are receiving the reports, you can mention that specifically in the next visit. But if you're just ordering, because in this particular visit, you're just ordering the investigation, right? You're requesting the investigation. You just write relevant investigation. Eventually, when you write in the next paragraph that this investigation was normal, this was abnormal, they will understand that you're talking about that. But what you have to do, you have to write the relevant information and you have to write your letter in a concise way. Okay, done. Then, therefore, done with the investigation, some relevant investigations were ordered. Therefore, she was prescribed candesartan 4 mg. Done. First visit is done. Now, the next visit comes, okay, where you can mention that these are the investigations, right? Okay, these investigations. Okay, you have received the investigation, right? Now, you are actually mentioning all these things over here, but now what you are doing? if you see here, you're telling that this investigation I've ordered. Next time you're telling that these were the results. So what is the best way? The way I'm telling you. Okay. So now on subsequent visits, Mrs. Sharma's pathology reports showed, okay, or reviews, whatever you want to write, showed GFR more than 60, HbA1c of 10%, along with raised lipids and cholesterol levels. That's it. Rest of the things are already normal. It is written that her full blood count, urine analysis, creatinine, LFTs, all are in normal range. So why would you write that if that is normal? Okay. Now I'm just making things quick in a quick way because we have 5-6 minutes in it. Okay. Then again, this medication. So now therefore, what you can do, you can merge the visit, right? Pathology, but remember, my previous visit was somehow ended over here, so I need this. I need to, use. I need to start the next visit from the new line. Now, after that, you can write therefore, her medication or her metformin regime was changed from 500 mg to 750 mg. In addition, atorvastatin and glipizide were added. Okay, done. Then this is my second and third visit done. Now, if you see the next visit, home BP range, sugars improved, pathology requested, fasting lipid, blah, 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 everything is normal. So you can just skip it. There is no need to write that. Then after that, the most important visit is today's visit. Unfortunately, I have not mentioned anything about today's visit. So this information that you're writing over here, this one is actually, everything is irrelevant. There is no, this is something which should have not been written in the letter. Okay, but that's fine. As I mentioned, we are here to learn. Okay, then you have to write here with the today's visit. How would you write that? So you write today. Okay, today is the date 10/02/29. Today, Mrs. Sharma's pathology reports were or has reviewed, which has showed. If you want to write anything in the present, that I'll talk about the grammar things in upcoming classes. Okay. Okay. Her fasting sugar levels are 16 plus, and other blood sugars are between 7 to 8. This is the today's visit. Okay, and then you can just write the previous history as I mentioned. Okay, because you have taken the class, I hope you have understood the way I have explained things. Then at the end, you can just write, in view of the above, it would be highly appreciated if you could take, Mrs. Sharma's. No, if I would like to, in view of the above, it would be like, I would be grateful if you could further assess and manage Mrs. Sharma's condition accordingly. And then you can write your sincerely. Always remember, there should be no name. You just have to write doctor word. VOCTO. That's it. There should be no name. Not VOCTO. Now, see, there are so many people in the group, and this is so funny. They talk about this dot. Sir, should I add this dot or not? Is it necessary to add a dot? And I was seeing the posts in so many groups that, there is no need to add dot. I mean, we are not kids anymore, right? Whether you add this dot or not doesn't matter at all. I mean, you're not going to be failed because you just have not added this dot over there. I think it's really funny, and I'm amazed to see the tutors are actually replying accordingly, and they were like, no, you have to add the dot, okay, because this is really important. No, Dr. Sarah, you can definitely write the value. I'm not saying that you cannot write the values. I'm just telling you that this is how it should be done. If you want to write it, you can write it. Like as I mentioned, the GFR was 60 and HbA1c was 10%, and cholesterol and rest of the things are raised. It is not necessary to write the values. If something is important, then that's fine. See, GFR is important, HbA1c is important. Cholesterol and other things, if you want, you can just say that they are raised. That's it. They won't. See, this is not a medical exam where you have to write exact information. If you will not write exact information, you're saying no. That's not what happens. Okay, they are not going to fail you because of that. You have to write the relevant information in a most beautiful way that when the reader is reading your letter, he's happy to read. Okay, he should be happy while reading your letter, and this is how it's done. Okay, so yeah, that's all from my side. At the end, I would just like to talk to you guys about the course. If you and any one of you want to join, you are most welcome. We discuss the sessions like this, the way I'm talking right now. And there is a 24/7 support system over there. You can text us or directly call us anytime. I mean, before call, definitely you can text us to ask that whether we are available, but you can text us anytime and we'll try to be, we'll try to reply you as soon as possible. And yeah, our new session has just started about like 2 days, 1 day ago, but like, no, yeah, 2 days ago. Okay, but this is yesterday we were unable to take class because of some weather conditions and electricity problems over here in Pakistan. But yeah, so we are taking the class today, and that's all. Dr. Sarah, I hope you have got my point. Okay, so I'm not going to evaluate the second letter of yours because I can see that that might have the same kind of mistake. So I want you to write the second letter again and send it to me. We'll discuss that tomorrow. So yeah, so if any one of you wants to join, you are most welcome. And yeah, thank you so much. This is all. You can, if you want to text us, you can text us over here. 343. Okay, you can definitely talk to us over here, and we'll be delighted to talk about it all. Thank you so much. Have a good night, everyone.